It is recording.
Welcome, fuckers.
Well, okay. Welcome to the 121 chair training video. This video will help train you in how to chair at the 121 marathon meeting. So I will be acting as the incoming chair. Basically, we'll pretend like right here says 6:59 instead of 7:18 p.m. And I'm about to be chair, and Clint is already my host, as you can see right here on the participants list right here. He has a little host right there. Okay. So I am going to open up my chat. I'm going to go to the everyone right here button. I'm going to go to Clint, and I'm going to say, hey, I'm here. Also, bear in mind my video is on, so he knows I am who I say I am. To chair at top of the hour. And he knows now to make me co-host. And this is obviously how you pull up the participants list, just like how I accessed pulling up the chat. You utilize the icons at the bottom. If you want to stay there all the time, you can press Alt and it'll pop them back up. ALT on your keyboard if you're using a desktop or a laptop. If you're using a tablet or a phone, I don't know what to tell you. Google it. Okay, so the meeting starts off with, I'm going to go into, the slides, actually. Just so everybody's aware, the last point where it says go over slides 2 to 3 of PDF. I'm going to utilize the slides as I conduct this training video for those viewing right now. So I, as the chair, have the ability right here, as you can see. I'll go ahead and share my screen so everyone else right here in the little Zoom room can see as well. I am going to share my screen. I'm going to choose just to share the PDF that I have. And there are some people in the way of the PDF. Let me just minimize their faces. Well, there we go. Okay, so as the chair, you want to arrive at least 5 to 10 minutes early for your hour. And Dave, who is labeled right here as 121 AA meeting, feel free to, or any of you guys, feel free to chime in at any point in time as I go over this information regarding the chair position, my position. So as you can see, I arrived a few minutes early and before the top of the hour, and advised the host that I am here. So the host then, Clint, made me co-host. My video was on, such and such and so and so. So next rule. Consider these like the steps of AA. These are suggestions, not directions, but this one's a direction. I don't know how else to say that. Like this is like a rule.
You're not allowed to play music, and you're not allowed to be in here without a shirt. That's a fact, not a suggestion.
All right. That was kind of like how I was trying to, like, there we go. We do not sing. We do not, you have to, no nipples and no singing, basically, is how it goes. As far as avoiding interacting with others during their share, what that means is crosstalk while somebody's sharing. When someone pops in and you haven't seen them for a while and you say, hey, man, it's nice to see you, how are you doing? And then introduce, here, we'll do this. See, actually, we'll utilize the meeting right now. I'm going to ask that A2DD and Justin take a look at point number 2 on their intro or their chair list. All right. So, as you can see, we have hands being raised. If I minimize my chat and get rid of my chat, they all come up in order right here. Mercedes as the first, Diamond as the second, Justin as the third. Clint can obviously raise his hand, but he doesn't need to right now. So, say I haven't seen Allison in a while. For example, I'm going to start off the meeting with mock meeting. Yeah, all right. Okay. We're going to start off with at the top of the hour, acting as if it is the top of the hour. I've got 3 hands raised. So right now, my host, I'm going to know this, is going to post the top of the hour chat or top of the hour post in the chat. As you can see on the PDF, I'm not going to share the screen just because I'm showing one thing right here. Where the heck did it go? Right here. Your format. Review the top of the hour post, etiquette post. Host will post this for you. So, host is going to grab the top of the hour post. And he's going to post it in this chat right here. As you can see, my first message was, hey there, I'm here to share at top of the hour. And he's going to make sure it goes to everyone and not to a specific person, obviously. You know, there's no singing in this meeting, but...
Am I supposed to have this, or are you sending it to me and then I'll post it?
I thought you were the one who took the freaking classes and was in 3 plays. We're improving. I was hinting at the host. Post the top of the hour.
I posted it for you, Clint. Just pretend that came from Clint.
Yeah, thank you.
I love you, Clint. Okay, sorry. Excuse me. All right, so here's the top of the hour post. This would say Clint Mensinger with a little phone and a little doohickey right there. Okay, welcome to the 121 Open AA Marathon meeting. We have 3 etiquettes here. Follow AA traditions, read AA-related literature, and share on your recovery. Keep it to 5-minute shares. The chair, myself, will minimize my comments in between shares. And number 3, absolutely no criticism. If you have an issue with someone, please call them directly or your sponsor. Do not bring it into the meeting. We as the 121 need to remember that our meeting is a privilege and not a right. We must respect the house etiquettes as we would like to keep these doors open for every alcoholic. To join our email list or our Facebook page, please send a request to either 121AAmeeting@gmail.com or 121meetingschedule@gmail.com. And there you go. That's what it'll look like for you with your host posting it right there. All right. So I, as the chair, get to make my own topic. That's one of the things that we get to do as the chair in the 121 meeting, is that we choose the topic. I like to say that we're the Jerry Springer of the show, and the host is the cameraman, or Steve when you have a troll, but we'll get into that in a few minutes. So basically the host is going to take care of all of that background stuff right here so that I, the chair, can focus on these hands that I have raised and hopefully run an informative experience, strength, and hope a meeting for a meeting for an hour. All right, so what would we obviously do now? We'd tell everyone what the topic is. So being that this is a meeting, we're training, our topic's going to be service. See how easy that is? I just type the topic in the chat. It goes out to everyone. Now my host knows what the topic is, so they can go ahead and copy and paste it or word it however they put their little emojis on there if they'd like to and all that good stuff. And they're going to go ahead and post that for me throughout the hour. So I don't even have to worry about it anymore. And hopefully those who are raising their hand know what the topic is. And those who are logging in are informed of it as well. And so on and so forth. So as I had stated before, one of the things is that we want to avoid interacting with others during their share and give them a gentle reminder of 1 minute prior to their 5-minute share, the etiquettes that we discussed, to finish up their share. You can use a timer. I preferably let the person take their breath at the 5-minute mark and then interrupt. It's a little bit easier to interrupt that way. Or if I set a timer on my phone for 5 minutes when Miss Allison starts sharing when I call on her, and unmute myself right before that timer goes off, Allison's going to hear that timer and I'm not interrupting her. The phone is. So I feel a little bit better about stopping somebody at that 5-minute mark. So there's some suggestions for you. Now, as far as interacting with others, I am going to, hey Allison, it's been a minute. I love you. Why don't you come in and share with us? I'm going to ask her to unmute. Right there is the control, as you can see.
Hey, Amber. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. So how's the kids and the hubby?
No interactions during the meeting.
Let me interact, damn it, first. God dang it.
It's
But
all
he's
good.
right. That's what I'm trying to display here.
Yeah.
So I called
It's all
on
good.
Allison. So I'm going to say, hey, Allison, come on in and share with us about the topic of service. And I've asked her to unmute, and here we go.
Thank you, Amber. I am an alcoholic named Allison, and service. I do that in a few different ways. I do that at in-person meetings. I do that in Zoom, be it if I'm out and about, because of the luxury of Zoom, I can take this with me anywhere. I can take it with me anywhere. And I can have it in my ears at work and listen and sometimes share. I sign up for service on Zoom, check the schedule, get put in the schedule, and sign up for times to be of service, chairing and or hosting. And I enjoy that. And then I feel like I can take it with me anywhere I go because I'm also participating in a variety of ways. And let's see, at in person. Oh, it's time to wrap it up. Thank you so much for letting me share. I'll raise my hand again.
And as you can see, she has muted herself and lowered her hand. You can't hear me?
I muted her and lowered her hand. The host is able to do that.
Okay. Okay. Well, there we go. That answers it. So I didn't have to do it. See, he's got my back.
Amber, if you'd like to show them how to lower hands and stuff,
Yeah.
you can lower my hand.
All right.
And I have a suggestion on the 5-minute.
Go ahead.
A lot of people like to, they don't feel like they're bothering people if at the 4-minute mark at the beginning of their hour you say, I'm going to, at the 4-minute mark, lower your hand. It'll change where you are on the screen, and that'll be your clue that you have a minute left so that you can wrap it up without being interrupted.
Let me remind you of something that doesn't work. And the reason it doesn't work is if someone's on a telephone, they don't move.
Oh, okay. Okay, well.
Hey, suggestion for the desktop people.
Okay.
There we go. Suggestion for if you're working off of a tablet, a laptop, or a desktop. But if you're on your phone, the little scrolly doohickey ain't going to do nothing for you.
Does it do it on an iPad?
No, I mean the person's sharing. I mean, the person sharing, if they're on their phone, they don't move. They stay in one spot.
Right, because they don't have a gallery view. They don't have a multiple person view. However, on a
Correct.
tablet, an iPad, a desktop, and a laptop, you are able to see that person move when it's a multi.
Right. When I put my hand down and I'm on a computer, I see me move. When I'm not on a computer and I'm on my phone and you tell me and I'm done sharing, I don't see me move.
Dave's gonna watch his computer right now and watch his eye. You see how I'm going to those three dots right there? I'm gonna lower his hand. See how he moved? He
Right.
probably just saw himself move because he is on a desktop.
Right. If I'm on my phone, I won't see that.
There we go. Just wanted to show the recording what we're talking about here. All right. So, hold up the participant. Let me do the raise hand. Mute. 10 to 15 seconds. Take a while to unmute. Oh, yes. Okay. So sometimes people will come in here and they will call in. Now you see this green badge that I'm pointing to with my cursor up in the upper left-hand corner, meeting information when you hover over it. If I click on that, it shows me this link that I can copy. If I copy this link, right, I'm going to open this little notepad down here. My little Zoom participants don't see this at all. And I'm going to paste it right here in this notepad. God dang it. It should have given me the phone number. Oh, wait, she doesn't have her phone number hooked up to it. So when you were to obtain the phone number to the 121 marathon meeting, which is the Zoom's platform of somebody accessing it via phone, dialing in, rather than just an app, than the Zoom application that you install on your computer or your phone. They're dialing in. It's like a 127,000 digit number and so on and so forth. There's prompts that have to be done. What will happen is I'm going to go ahead and rename Justin to, it'll look like this. All right. And Justin's going to kill his video. And we're going to pretend like that. Go ahead and raise your hand as well, Justin. That little vampire right there ain't there. It's going to be a black screen. It's going to have a little phone icon. And you'll know it's a phone because it'll have a phone. And it won't be able to do that either. The emoji, laughing emoji. It will, when someone calls in, it'll be their phone number right here. So you'll have to, as you click this ask to unmute right here, you may have to click it a couple of times and give it a moment or two for this person on the other side of that phone to hear the prompt, the message that you're being prompted to unmute. They'll hit their, I believe it's *6 or *9. One's mute and one's unmute. And then they'll go ahead and unmute. And
Now it's been about 8 to 10 seconds since I was given the unmute, and I've been able to come in and unmute. So now I'm in here sharing.
And now he's done. So I will mute him because when it comes to phones, it's a lot easier to mute them than wait on them to mute themselves, number one. And number two, you always, always, always want to try to be the first to mute that person.
Recording in progress.
Oh, somebody just hit the, oh.
Recording stopped.
I got it. Clint accidentally hit the button. It's okay. It's okay. As you can tell in this video, we have a little fun with it. So it's okay. And I can also take my phone number off of Justin's profile. Oh, okay. All right. So getting back to the muting of someone. as I make it kind of adamant here because I'm kind of adamant about this because go ahead, everybody, and if you can, please raise your hand. All of my lovely people in the room, please raise your hand. All right. Oh my God, it's so white, Clint. Like it blends into the ceiling of your kitchen. Like the only reason why you can see it is because the shadow of your ceiling fan doesn't, it like skips the hand. So be aware of this. You are going to notice this. You want to be aware. So you do want to have your participants list open because as you can see right here, I have them in order. I have them, you can see Clint's hand right here now. I know you can't see it right there. Okay, anywho. So they're in order right here. As I lower, we'll say Justin has shared, I've muted him. I'm going to lower his hand. He has now moved off my list, and now my hands stay in order. And as you can see on the participants tab, they've just moved up. So I'm just going to go ahead and now see if you see right here, I can use this little area, the participants tab, to lower Allison's hand. And now Diamond Dave is the next one up. I can use the right click option if I'm on a computer or a desktop and right click on it on Dave's video and not remove, lower hand. Okay, there we go. And then Clint, if I'm on the participants tab, I can hit those 3 dots as well and not do anything because he's the host and I forgot about that. So I have to utilize the lower hand button right here, or I have to utilize the 3 dots right here on his video, or I have to utilize the right click lower hand option on his video. Very awesome with the pinky. Okay, so as this meeting is going on, you may have some downtime. One of the suggestions that we make on this PDF of where I'm going to share this as well is we've given you a suggested format. Say a prayer of your choice at the beginning of the meeting and the end if desired. Not only are we bringing God into the meeting, but also it eats up about a minute or so of time. But it's also bringing God into the meeting. It is not required. Like I said, you are the Jerry Springer of the show. You as the chair are the boss of, not the boss, I don't want to say that because I don't want your ego to get giant, but you are facilitating the meeting. Therefore, you have the freedom to facilitate as you so choose, as long as it is within the traditions of Alcoholics Anonymous. As long as we remember we are at an open Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. So, that being the point, or that being said, read or have a member read the preamble, how it works, traditions, etc. If your topic that you brought up is the daily reflections, for example, read the daily reflections right here. Introduce a topic related to recovery. So, what that means is if you have found a motivational quote that has inspired you to become more proactive, you think. Being proactive is a part of recovery. Being proactive is a part of AA. It's something we learn to do in AA. Become proactive. So, there's your topic. You read the motivational quote on proactive. And there you go. You have now taken up 10 or 15 minutes. Who knows? And go ahead and feel free, if you don't have any hands up, to start discussing this. Explain why this motivational quote made you think of becoming or being proactive and increasing that proactivity, whatever the word is. Okay, so there are some tips for you to be able to, because some people get nervous. What am I going to do if nobody has their hands raised? So on and so forth. Well, here's some tips for you. Read AA-related literature. Always remember to look for hands up while reading because hands take precedence in this meeting. Your host will have your back, of course, but don't rely on your host. You need to make sure you're paying attention for hands. Meditation meetings are definitely permitted. However, we do not play the meditation music, whatever, for more than 5 minutes because that is the length of the time of a share, and we must allow time for reflection and sharing. There's the recovery lottery where participants pick a number related to a topic. And, pick a number 1 through 40, and I'll give you a AA-related topic. And speaker tapes are permitted. Make sure, though, that you are clear that hands take priority over the tapes, meaning we will pause our tape at any time. Make that very clear. Include that in your little typed out topic. That would be great. As far as the chair position goes, we discussed minimizing comments. We did not discuss this. Dave, why don't you go ahead and explain why giving advice, we must avoid giving advice or any negative crosstalk. Members may crosstalk only in an uplifting and encouraging way. So there you go. Dave, please go ahead and explain
that. I'm Dave, I'm an alcoholic. God got me sober. No, I ain't that. But yes, when you're chairing, there is acknowledge the person that is speaking, but it's not our job to give advice or tell anyone what to do. If you have personal experience of what they just shared about, you can share for a minute about your personal experience, but you can't make it in something that it's what they have to do. We don't tell anyone what they have to do, other than read the book. That's the only real suggestion we give or advice to give to anyone. And no criticism is just that. It's not hard to figure out what criticism is. If it's anything negative about anyone in the meeting, anyone's share, or the meeting itself will not be tolerated. You can give positive crosstalk and tell somebody, hey, Amber, thank you for that share. It was great. That's fine. But you can't say, hey, Allison, you're full of shit, and that was all wrong. You can't do that. If you disagree with somebody, we have it in the top of the hour. Call your sponsor. If you don't have a sponsor, find one. If you can't find a sponsor, find a friend. If you can't find a friend, buy a fucking dog. Pretty simple. Don't share it in the meeting. Call the person up if you have a problem with them. And that takes care of crosstalk.
Actually, if you want to take a look at your screen, why don't you go into this? Because you basically just went into this right here. But
in the event, you may need to interrupt the person or mute them and politely intervene, reminding them of the etiquette. Host will support you with monitoring the chat for the same. So if you're told that you're doing or saying something that's crosstalk, change your talk. If you don't, you'll get kicked out. That pretty much sums it up. We're not going to be tolerated. It's not going to be tolerated. So just don't do it. If you can't say it in a regular meeting with fear of somebody getting up and punching you in the face, don't say it in a Zoom meeting.
All right. right. Well, thank you, Dave. Appreciate you. All right. In just a moment, I am going to introduce what we call a troll. We're going to simulate a troll issue attack, if you will. So while my people in the Zoom room take a look real quick at our script and make sure they know what's going on with the trolls. In regards to speaker tapes, if you would like to be trained on how to do a speaker tape for your hour, please feel free to email the 121 AA meeting at gmail.com. See how I'm putting that in the chat as well to everyone. You're going to want to, and I'll get in touch with you and we will get you trained on how to do speaker tapes. So, okay, so there's a big difference. What Dave just explained is someone in the meeting criticizing, causing trouble, causing problems in a standard way. And I mean that in a way of logical criticism. Okay. Tradition 1. Our primary purpose comes first. The group
Common welfare comes
common
first.
welfare comes first. Group whatever, say it.
Personal recovery depends upon AA.
Thank you. Okay. So that would be tradition 1, which supports our no criticism. A troll is someone who's going to log in, and sometimes it happens in multitudes of someone's. A troll is someone who's going to log in, and they're going to show inappropriate images. They're going to state inappropriate things. And when I say inappropriate, I mean porn and sex and butt cheeks and male parts and female lady bits. And I think I've pretty much explained what a troll is. So there's the difference between a criticizing person in a meeting, whether it be in the chat, criticizing, saying, hey, Dave, your share just sucked. It doesn't have anything to do with AA in the chat. So that person has criticized Dave. Dave will be removed. Or the person will be removed and Dave will just call a sponsor. He'll be okay. So, trolls are going to come in. And a lot of times this happens just because it's been posted on Twitter or some stupid reason. It's a not school day and all the kids are off and they're bored. So they're going to come in the chat, and as you can see, they're going to write fuck you. They're going to write penis. They're going to write inappropriate N-words. They're going to blow up the chat. You need to be on your toes. When someone comes in that does that, they are immediately removed. There's no warning. They are immediately removed. And as well as any inappropriate pictures. You see how Justin down here has Castle Vampire with him doing some sort of gang signs in front of it. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. I'm not going to say it's inappropriate because I don't know. It's good. It's not. People are going to log in here with pictures or videos or there you go. See, they're going to blow up the chat like that. They're going to log in here with videos or pictures of anatomy. And you're just going to have to, as the chair, brush it off as nothing and keep going on with the meeting. It's as if you're sharing at a table and a bee just buzzed right in front of you. Oh, a bee! Okay, going back to the meeting now. You can have your shock moment for a second. We understand. You're human. Continue on with the meeting. Do not acknowledge it. Just continue on with the meeting. Your host in the background will be assisting you in every way, shape, and form during a troll attack or a troll bombing or whatever the heck you want to call it. So let's say well, Clint's my freaking host, so I can't do that.
What did you like me to send you to host?
Well, you got to be a troll, and Justin's got to be a troll, and I don't have the ability to let y'all back in once I boot you out of the meeting. So please bear this in mind, people who are watching this video and being trained right now. Once you remove someone from the meeting, they will be unable to return to the meeting for 24 hours. Okay, so
If you'd like to
Yeah.
just show where the button is.
I'm gonna.
Okay.
If you accidentally. Oh, there we go. Okay. Look, he's a troll. Okay, raw. Oh God, dear God, no. Okay. Okay, so there's 3 dots. I got really scared there for a second. My life flashed before my eyes. Okay. Sweet baby Jesus. Okay, so you click on the 3 dots right here, and it says remove. It says remove DD. Are you sure? I'm going to click remove. You want to make sure that little check mark is report to Zoom is checked off. And you're going to click remove. Now, before I do that, I'm going to pause right here. I'm just going to move that box right over that guy right there so you can't see that guy right there. Okay, so before I do that, as you can see, I am still able to ask Allison to unmute right now. So go ahead and say anything else.
Boogity boogity.
Okay, there we go. I'm still able to access the controls while having this remove up and ready to go. So if I have an inkling that somebody who is about to share, like this troll down here has his hand raised, he's going to raise his hand. He's not connected to audio, so he's going to raise his hand. He's going to raise his hand first. Okay, so now I have an itching that this guy is a troll, right? I already have the remove up and ready to go. I've clicked on the 3 dots. I've right-clicked on him. I've gone to the participants list and utilized the 3 dots on the name of this person, and I've clicked remove. This box comes up. I am able to ask DD right here to unmute. And I know just in my heart and soul, he is a troll. Ooh, that rhymed. Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. And we click remove. See how quickly that's done and over with. And then you get all these shocked looks from people in the meeting. They're like, how'd you do that so fast? It's really cool. It's really fun. But right here, as you can see, this little report window pops up. It says, who do you want to report? That DD is already in there. What happened? You can go ahead and say, I'll tell you later. I like to select the first one, offensive, illegal, or abusive, because that was pretty offensive, illegal, or abusive. And I hit submit. Wait. I just reported Dave's account to Zoom.
What is that, a joke or what?
No.
Are you okay?
I don't know what happens on the other end of it if Zoom actually follows up with those reports. That's the one thing I will tell you, Mr. Person watching this training video. I don't work at Zoom. None of us work at Zoom. We have no clue what happens after we report these bombers.
So now
Other
now they
than
will,
the bombers can't come in for 24 hours or until we reset the meeting.
She just kicked me off the Zoom platform forever.
Dave, let me know if anything happens, please. I will fix it. I swear to baby Jesus, I will fix it.
It's all right. Nothing will happen. You need
Okay.
more than one report.
Okay, good. Thank God. Okay. So that DD troll cannot come back in until we reset the meeting, which happens at 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time during our Joe and Charlie Big Book study, which runs from midnight Eastern Standard Time until 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Reason why we reset it, the host, Clint, would end the meeting and restart it again immediately. It'll restart again just by logging right back in, is because a lot of information's going on. A lot of talking, a lot of chat, a lot of this, a lot of that on the meeting. So we need to refresh it as if you would refresh a web page. Okay, so other than that, I think I've covered just about everything. Let me go ahead and share my screen and just double check and make sure you guys in the background of Zoom, please do the same. Double check and make sure. Oh, we do offer breakout rooms here. That would be for someone who is in dire need of a 12th step, which is this separate discussion with if Allison was having a bad day or, wanted not a bad day, but had a desire to drink. While she's sharing, she lets us know, or in the chat, she lets us know. We would then set up a breakout room for them. The host will take care of this. We'll get into that later. Either
Not
way.
just for chit chat.
Say what?
They're not just for chit chat. You can't just ask for a break.
No. Just a desire to drink. They're not for, the suicidal either. We are AA. We cannot help somebody who is suicidal.
Men with men, women with women in the breakout room.
Yep. And if somebody's intoxicated as well, we offer the breakout room to them, that especially if they're intoxicated, because we want to, grab them when they're the most vulnerable, I think the big book says. Something like that. Either way. So we offer breakout rooms. As the chair, you want to make sure and pay attention to that. If the chat is, being blown up and you don't have a moment to pay attention to that, don't worry, because your host has your back on the chat. Just for your information, outside issues are usually politics, religion, and medication, or any sort of medical advice. When reading any recovery-related literature, please keep it original. Do not change the wording in the readings, basically making it your own. That's called plagiarism. So we do not want to be, we don't want to do that. Anywho, underneath this suggested format, we went over that.
Chairs need to keep their cameras on at all times.
Anything else anyone can think of that I have covered or have missed on the chairing position?
Did you hear what I just said?
Yes, cameras must be on for the chair at all times because we need to see your face. When if you're chairing from a phone, it's fine, Bear in mind we don't want to see your nose hairs the whole time. So pay attention to how you got your phone held.
But if you get a chair for a couple of hours in a row and you got to use the ladies' or boys' room, you can turn off for a second, or you let your host know. I gotta be right back.
Yep, then your host will turn their camera on. Their camera should be on anyways. And they will then, while the person, say Dave was sharing right now, the host would then cut in because Clint knows that I have to pee and I ran to pee real quick. And he cuts in and he takes over.
Yeah. Very simple. Very simple. Not difficult.
Teamwork. That's why I say, the host is the producer and the chair is the Jerry Springer of the show. Okay. Whatever. Okay. So I think we've covered everything. Is everybody satisfied? Justin, are you good to go? Dave, Clint, Allison said her thing. Everybody's happy. Okay. Thank you very much. There will be 2 more videos to follow. That will be the host training and then the breakout rooms training.